Sound like some Viking music, don't it?
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go, let's go.
Shooting, lights out. Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing today on this Thursday, January 11, 2024? I am here to Playmaker is here. You know, a lot of news is happening in sports right now. You know, Pete Carroll out in Seattle, Nick Saban retiring, Bill Belichick, the big news of the day, is out in New England. Football is taking over, but basketball has been sneaky, especially college basketball. So right here on this short edition of Shooting Lights Out, I had to get this in real quick because college basketball in the last 2 days has went ballistic, okay? Let's go. Let's get right into it because the men's college basketball, oh my goodness. I have no idea what these past 24 hours was like from Tuesday night to last night. It's been ridiculous, okay? So let's talk about how ridiculous it is, okay? This is your top 10 list, okay? Purdue 1, Houston 2, Kansas 3, UConn 4, Tennessee 5, Kentucky 6, North Carolina 7, Arizona 8, Oklahoma 9, and Illinois 10. 4 of the top 5 teams got upset within this 24-hour period. 5 of the top 10 got upset within this 24 period. And every last one of them were on the road, ladies and gentlemen. So, look, it's been crazy as it is as of already. But as of right now, let's get right into it. It's Tuesday night. Number 1, Purdue traveled to Nebraska, got caught. Number 2, the Utah Cougars traveled to Ames, Iowa to take on the Cyclones, got caught. Oh, and by the way, did I forget to mention that all these upsets was by unranked teams at that? Purdue, number 1 in Nebraska, took down 88-72, a 16-point loss by the number 1 team in the country. Zach Edey, you know, the player of the year last year, favorite to win player of the year this year, 15 points on 6 for 10 shooting, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 blocks. Where were you? Where were you Tuesday night, Zach? Where were you? It's not the typical Zach Edey performance that we are known and accustomed to when it comes to Purdue. Taken down by unranked Nebraska. Wow. 1 domino falls. That's the number 1 team in the country. Number 1 team in the country. Don't worry. Number 2 going to handle business. No. See, look at this. Nebraska shot 51% from the field, 61% from 3, and 84% from the line. That's a very good recipe of putting off an upset. You can shoot 50% from the field, you can shoot 61% from 3, and 80% and 84% from the free throw line, from the charity stripe. Oh yeah, you doing something, okay? You doing something. Purdue only out rebounded Nebraska only by 4. The assist game was in Nebraska favor. Okay. 9 steals for Nebraska. 18 points off turnover for Nebraska. Nebraska handled business at home. Surprisingly, over the number one team in the country. The number one team in the land. Couldn't handle Nebraska. Lost by 16. Good gracious. Don't worry. Number two will step in. Wrong. The Houston Cougars, the last unbeaten team in the land. They went to Ames, Iowa to take on the Iowa State Cyclones, and they got caught. 57-53. First loss of the season for the Cougars. Like I said earlier, was the last remaining unbeaten team in the country. No longer. So there's no more unbeaten teams in college basketball for the men's side. And you see Kyle Sanderson just disgusted, disappointed. You know he's disappointed at. Despite the fact that the Cyclones of Iowa State shot 81, almost 82% from the charity strike, and the Cougars of Houston shot 67% from the charity strike. 10 more free throws attempts and made by the Cyclones. The Cougars never led in this game. The Houston Cougars, the number 2 team in the land, the final unbeaten team to fall, never led in Ames, Iowa. The Cyclones jumped on them from start to finish. Good gracious. Jumped on them from start to finish. That's painful because Cougars shot 38% from the field. Iowa State shot 38.3% from the field. No much difference there. 3-pointers, 27% for the Cougars, 20% for the Cyclones. No much difference there. We talked about the free throws. Rebounding, edge go to the Cougars, 32-25. Assists, Cyclones got it by 6, 14-8. Steals was even, about 7-8 in favor of the Cougars. Houston had 5 blocks. Iowa State had none. But yet, we see all this, and the Cougars never led. They had one lead in this entire game on Tuesday. That's crazy. So, Tuesday was a hell of a night in college basketball. Number 1 and number 2 both got dropped. Show you again. Number 1 dropped. Number 2 dropped. Both by unranked teams in the same night. If I remember correct, I think ESPN said it was the 8th. This is like the 6th or 8th time. And this in the college in the AP poll era, where 1 and 2 both lost in the same day and on the road. That usually doesn't. Usually one wins, the other one wins, or they both win. Both of them losing don't happen that much. This is like the 6th or 8th time this has happened in the game of college basketball, and that was Tuesday night. Okay. But the craziness wasn't done because let's go to Wednesday last night. Number 3, Kansas was at UCF, dropped. Number 5, Tennessee, they was at Mississippi State, dropped. And number 9, Oklahoma was at TCU, dropped. Boy, I tell you. Number 3 team in the country, the Kansas Jayhawks, went down to Orlando, Florida to take on the UCF Knights. So welcome to the Big 12 by Kansas Jayhawks. And the Kansas Jayhawks suffered their second loss of the season. Not only did they lose their second loss of the season, they blew a 16-point lead. Wow. Outscored 36-23 in the second half. Bill Self is not pleased. I mean, look at it. Kansas shot 51% from the field to the Knights 42. The Jayhawks shot 33% from 3, 35% for the Knights, and then the free throw battle. 77, almost 78 for the Knights, and 55% from the Kansas shooting 55% from the charity strike. Oh, you know Bill Self had them shooting 1,000 free throws before their next game. 55% from the charity strike? That's not a Bill Self coach team that I know. I don't know about y'all, When it comes to Bill Self and Kansas Jayhawk basketball, oh, they gonna know how to shoot free throws. Good Lord. 55. 6 for 11 from the strike. 6 for 11. And you had a 16-point lead. A 16-point lead. And you blew it. And you lost. 16-point lead. A 16-point lead to a 5-point loss. That is a and the largest lead UCF had was a 7-point lead. So you're talking a 22-point turnaround from largest lead for Kansas to the largest lead of UCF. That is 23-point turnaround. 16-point lead to a 7-point deficit. A 23-point turnaround by the Kansas Jayhawks, and they losing their second loss of the season to unranked UCF. Congratulations to UCF, man. You got the 10th win of the season. Congratulations. You're in the double digits of wins now. Got a big win over number 3. That's very good on your resume. By the way, all these wins by these unranked teams helps their resume. Nebraska can say they beat number 1 in the land. Iowa State can say they beat number 2 in the land. UCF say they can beat number 3 in the land. Oh, and by the way, the last 2 games I discovered, Kansas losing and Houston losing, both in the Big 12. So 2 of the 3 games I discovered was in the Big 12. The Big 12 is shaping up to be an interesting conference. Then from the Big 12 to my conference, which is the SEC, because number 5 Tennessee went on the road to Starkville, Mississippi, and the Bulldogs of the Mississippi State took down number 5, 77-72. That second half was ridiculous. 92 points scored in the second half. 92 points. That is ridiculous. Tennessee dropped 50 in the second half, and it wasn't enough for it. If you can score 50 in a half and you still lose, that's a lot to be said about that other team. Because Tennessee dropped 50 in the second half and still lost by 5. Free throws. Something about free throws on the road, but look at this. 62.5% for the Volunteers, while the Bulldogs shot about 70.5% from the charity stripe. 9 more free throws made by the Bulldogs than the Volunteers. Man, the Bulldogs shot 50% from the field. Tennessee shot damn near 46 from the field. Man, Tennessee largest lead was 3, while the Bulldogs largest lead was 15. But free throws, man, free throws. Let me see here. This is the 4th game I have covered, and we talking about Indiana. We talking about Nebraska shooting 51, 61, and 84% from the charity stripe, while Purdue shot 73 from the charity stripe. Houston, we talking almost 82% for the Cyclones to 67 for the Cougars. That's 2 games right there. We talking about free throws. Kansas shot 55% from the charity stripe. UCF shot almost 78% from the charity stripe. That's 3 games right there. Game 4, we're looking at 62.5 for the Volunteers to 70.5 for the Bulldogs. Free throws, man. Free throws. The ranked team is struggling at the charity stripe on the road. This is incredible. The charity stripe is playing a role in these upsets. The charity stripe. Now, you know what that means. When we get down to March Madness, we always say free throws prove vital in those tournament games. They're pulling vital in the last 2 days. Tuesday and Wednesday, free throws. Playing a part in upsets. Oh, my gosh. And then we had one more upsets. From the SEC back to the Big 12. The 3rd upset in the top 10 involving a Big 12 team. Number 9, Oklahoma, was in Fort Worth, Texas to take on the TCU Horned Frogs. Oklahoma, you deserve to lose because of the simple fact that TCU can score 40 in both halves. Demand that you lose that game. Y'all gave up 40 in the first half to be down 6, and you gave up 40 in the second half, and you lost by 3, which totals the 9-point loss that you got 80-71. Where's the defense in Norman, Oklahoma? Where's the defense at? You gave up 40 in both halves to TCU. 40. What is going on here? Let's look at the numbers. This one, we ain't have to worry about the free throws on this one. Oklahoma, close to 71%. TCU, 77%. Not too much of a discrepancy there. +5 for the Horned Frogs in that department. Oklahoma shot better from the field than TCU, 45% to 44%. 3-point battle fairly even, 29 for TCU, 28 for Oklahoma, which means y'all 3-point games are terrible. Y'all combined 14 for 49. 14 for 49 combined 3 points. That is abysmal shooting from the outside. And yet, I say all of this and to say TCU actually had a lead by 17. TCU was literally up by 17 at one point in this game. Why? 25 points off of 14 turnovers by the Oklahoma Sooners. TCU got 25 points off of 14 Oklahoma turnovers. Another thing that you have to do when you're on the road is make your free throws and protect the goddamn ball. Take care of the freaking basketball. Oklahoma didn't do that. 14 turnovers by the Sooners turned into 25 points for the TCU Horned Frogs. That is terrible by Oklahoma. Did fairly well in the free throw department, unlike the other 4 teams. But you couldn't take care of the ball. Man, oh man. The 24 hours in college basketball has been ridiculous. 4 top 5 teams upset, 5 top 10 teams upset. What is going to happen? Because look here. What, we put UConn back at number 1 now? Move Kentucky up to number 2. North Carolina to 3. Arizona to 4. Illinois to 5. What we do? Because Purdue suffered their second loss of the season. Houston suffered their first loss of the season. Kansas suffered their second loss of the season. Tennessee suffered their 4th loss of the season. And Oklahoma suffered their second loss of the season. All to unranked teams on the road. What do you do? What do you do? I have no idea. But man, it is only January. We are only 11 days into the new year. And we have top 5 and top 10 teams getting knocked off on the road by unranked teams left and right. If anything else, if we have any more upsets happening today, good Lord, it's going to be a crazy forensic week. Especially when the new polls come out. Matter of fact, while I'm sitting here doing this, take this down. Real quickly, let's see if there's any good games to look at tonight that might pique interest to see if this upset trend is going to continue to roll into a 3rd consecutive night. Because, man, 4 in the top 5, 5 in the top 10, good Lord. We are into Thursday. The only top 10 game that we have is Michigan State at Illinois. Number 10 is hosting Michigan State. If Tom Izzo walks into, I want to say Champaign, Illinois, to knock off the Final Nine, good gracious, it's going to be on and popping. And then Friday, what we got going on Friday? Nothing going on Friday. So if Mississippi State pulls this one out tonight, 3 consecutive nights of a top 10 team getting knocked off. The first one to be at home if Mississippi State, if Michigan State can do that. Outside of that, got to wait to Saturday. Syracuse is at North Carolina. Tennessee is at Georgia. You got two of the teams that got upset that I talked about. Kansas and Oklahoma doing better in Kansas. Kentucky's at Texas A&M. Purdue is at home hosting Penn State. Houston is in TCU. Arizona is at Washington State. And that's all Saturday. So this crazy week ain't done yet. We got tonight with Michigan State going to Illinois, and then we got a boatload of top 10 teams in action on Saturday. So we're already at 5. By the time we get to the next poll, which is, I believe, Monday, we could have more upset. And then I forgot Sunday. Maryland is at Illinois and Georgetown is at UConn. So we shall see. But hey, wanted to jump on here real quick to give you a quick shooting the lights out episode because college basketball has gone bananas. So with that being said, the Playmaker here signing off. Catch y'all later to talk more basketball.
Good. You've done great. But you can't stop here. You can't stop now. You gotta keep going. Through all your trials and your tribulations, you gotta keep pushing. Now, finish your canvas.
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud. Gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go. Let's go.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you want to follow the podcast, you can follow it on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and a whole lot more. This has been Shooting Lights Out.